Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Who's scared? I mean, really, which one of you guys is scared? Are you scared? Are you scared? Anyone, and I mean anyone who says we're in a bear market is a complete moron who is not keeping up with the current trends. This is not even coming from me. This is coming from Chad Steingraber here. You're about to be taught a lesson in institutional adoption. And I mean, yeah, I get it. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be picking on people. If this is your first bull run and you're new to the space, I get that these corrections are quite alarming. But, this is why the memes exist. This is one of my favorite ones. Stock market traders down 3%. I mean, they believe it's the end of the world. Meanwhile, crypto traders down 40%. And we're still laughing all the way to the bank, guys. Time to accumulate. Remember, Raoul Pal said this back on January the 6th. Remember the bit about 35% pullbacks. That is normal. There will be more of these. The bull market's job is to try to throw you off. So this was just one of the things that he posted originally back on January the 6th, back when we were starting to see those bulls really start to rally. Now his famous thing is DFTU. We cannot mess this up, guys. We're in this for the long haul. Vincent Van Code down here saying, this dump is just unsophisticated traders getting scared from the Iran-Israeli conflict. The fundamentals are still strong with significant participation and liquidity. This is one of those discount events. So as you guys can see, XRP is now below 50 cents per coin. It went as low as right down in here around 42 cents. We'll call it just in around here, about 42.5 cents back yesterday. And whoops. Yeah, it's hard to see there, but you guys can see there, roughly 42.5 cents. And now, it's slowly climbing up back to 49 cents per coin. That, when just a couple of days ago, we were at 61 cents. So has really gone down quite significantly in the last couple of days only. And, yesterday I did a video on the market, the bearish crash. And then after I released that video, we did see another huge leg down. So, I'm getting people commenting. I'm getting people saying, I'm really worried. For me, guys, though, this is just another day in crypto, and I'm going to explain why. We're seeing greed now down to 61. So look at how fast that went down from the 80s only a few weeks ago, now down to 61. Market cap is down to $2.31 trillion. And the volume is up quite a bit because a lot of sell-off is occurring, 26.08%. And Bitcoin dominance, guys, this is another one of those key factors that, if you hold altcoins, is going to be very, very important. This is what dictates what is coming next, or at least has in the past. You guys can see the last 24 hours, we've just seen a bloodbath for many cryptocurrencies, some in the double digits, some in the single digits. Overall, though, par for the course. Again, 30% corrections, typical in this space. So Raoul Pal here is talking about 35% corrections. We've got an XRP now down to 49 cents, who is now taking this opportunity to buy more cryptocurrencies. For my Patreon subscribers, I am going to be getting to that update today, looking at my $10,000 plus portfolio, which has now gone down in value, obviously. But a lot of those cryptocurrencies, the 15 plus that I do not usually talk about on the YouTube channel, are at some pretty attractive price points. So I'm going to get that out today. Patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if you're interested in seeing the coins that I'm trading this time around. And I mean, it's altcoins. The altcoins are taking the brunt of the hit, but this has come to be expected. Okay, Credible Crypto here posting this. My guess is that this washout is probably finally the beginning of the end of meme season we've seen over the last couple of months. Not saying we won't see another. The biggest one comes after Bitcoin sees its blow off top later this year, above $100,000 per coin. But for now, I think this correction will initiate a rotation back into BTC and majors for the first usual large to mid cap, small cap rotation that we are used to. So if this all sounds like gibberish to you guys, you probably A, haven't been paying attention, or B, this is probably your first crypto bull run, or first full cycle in crypto. More on the coming days. For now, calling it a night. Catch you in the morning. So Credible Crypto here talking about this exact thing. So the rotation. This is something that happens all the time. Rect Capital also outlining it here with a chart in a little more detail. Altcoins are following the plan. Altcoins bottomed in early February. Altcoins sold off around the Bitcoin halving. Altcoins to bottom in early summer. So this is generally, I guess, what happens when we do see, cycles, and altcoins and Bitcoin do work in tandem, but they don't necessarily go up and go down in tandem, and they kind of do, but they kind of don't. And what I mean by that is this. Okay, let me bring up the Bitcoin dominance chart, and let's just go to the daily. And what I want to show you guys is, okay, how many days are we until the halving? I think halving's happening next week. So less than 7 days away, we'll say. And what has happened now for the altcoin market? Well, again, this is the Bitcoin dominance chart, okay? So Bitcoin dominance goes up. As I mentioned earlier, right? Bitcoin dominance, 54.6%. So what happens next? Bitcoin dominance goes up right before the halving. And so what does that mean? Although Bitcoin did take a tumble, altcoins tumbled even harder alongside Bitcoin, which makes it look like, the appearance looks like Bitcoin dominance has in fact gone up. And again, guys, this is only a few days before the halving. Well, look at what happened before the last halving, okay? That was in May. Roughly around May 11th, right and around here. Here, let me get in a little closer in there. May 10th, May 11th, somewhere in and around here, 2020. Well, look at what happened to the dominance for Bitcoin right before that halving. So the halving date, I think, was right in here. I think one of these candlesticks in here. But before the halving, between April 29th to about May 8th, we did also see that Bitcoin dominance rise. And then what happened, guys? Right after that, boom, altcoins took over the dominance and Bitcoin dominance fell. So this means altcoins, boom, 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 pumped, okay, compared to Bitcoin. So guys, this flush out has happened in the past. Do not get worried. 35% corrections, very, very typical. And as Bitcoin dominance falls, altcoin dominance going to eventually heat up. At least that is the theory. So Nick Crypto Crusader here saying, this is what volatility looks like. It's not easy to make it through these types of moves. And in fact, most are already panicking. Call it what you will, but this is the major shakeout right before the much larger expansion. So the target, he's looking at the mid $50,000 region for Bitcoin. So what he is suggesting here is that we're actually going to see even further, a correction even further for Bitcoin, which means more pain, guys, before more gain. So even just looking at the Bitcoin chart right now, let's get rid of some of that. The Bitcoin price right now is hovering in and around 64,500 per coin. And again, this is on the daily. And if we take the all-time high and we look at where we are today, guys, it's only about a 12.5% correction. Even after this dip, we did not dip down as low as we did back on March the 20th. We're almost at 17%. And on March 20th, we were at 17.6%. So we're basically retracing back into this zone in here. So hitting this level here, maintaining lows, not making any new lows. But even if we do make new lows, okay, and we get down, I don't know, maybe in this level here, that would be roughly 30%. There you go. 29.1, 30, just depending on where we land in there. And that would bring us roughly in the mid 50s, $52,000, $53,000 per BTC. So the volatility is certainly not for the faint of heart, and we have to adjust to it accordingly. So now comes the hard part, guys. A bit of a public service announcement. Be cautious of those who are constantly switching up from one project to another. And I'm going to take this time to say I have always had faith in XRP. I will never switch up, especially not in the middle of a bull run, which coins I'm going to talk about based on popularity. But guys, there are influencers out there that do this. They change their @ in their bio and constantly jump on the bandwagon. I'm sure we can think of a few names who do this. Avoid these accounts at all costs. So, again, taking maybe your vulnerabilities into consideration because your coin is down and some might be popping at this particular time. Although I'm looking at this chart and I don't see any particular coins that are popping. Oh, maybe Celestia here, 7.59% up. Just be careful, guys. Again, this space is not for the faint of heart. And, I'm here to help to maybe put your mind at ease to some degree. Of course, for the Patreon subscribers, you get more detailed information on what I'm doing during this bull run, the positions I'm in, when I've actually pushed that buy button to get into more positions, and when I'm going to be selling my cryptocurrencies. So going to be recording me actually pushing the sell button, and you can see how much profit I eventually make on these trades. So a bit of a more intimate look into my trading journey. But I mean, ultimately, I'm here for everybody. I've been doing this channel for 5+ years. It'll be 6 years in June. And, we go through ups and downs, guys, constantly. And so, this is a big washout in the crypto space. And I just want everybody to be aware that it is not the end of the world. Archer here posting this, the last 2 days have witnessed a gut-wrenching crypto market downside with about $2 billion in assets liquidated. The shockwaves have been felt across the entire industry, shaking investor confidence and leaving many wondering what the future holds. Some things to make note of understanding the crash. While pinpointing a single cause for market crashes is often difficult, it is also often pointless looking for an explanation. Why? Because you will always find one, but does not mean it will be the one. Yet, market is overheating, okay? So after a sustained bull run, we have been sitting at extreme greed, Corrections are natural and required, as per Raoul Pal also. And this crash may have been a case of excessive valuations being brought back into balance. We also have to look at macroeconomic factors, okay? Global macroeconomic factors, such as high interest rates and concerns about inflation. That can spook investors too, and that leads to sell-offs across riskier asset classes like cryptocurrency. Geopolitics, well, everyone follows the news, but use your logic and reasoning. While some events look bad, they're often not actually bad as the actual effect, not the narrative and the image. What happened now, in my opinion, was an overreaction. So there's also the contagion effect. Obviously, people are selling off because they're hearing all the bad news and they're seeing the market dump, so they panic sell. Market implications, the immediate impact of the crash is widespread pain. Investors who bought at higher prices have seen their holdings significantly reduced in value, and high leverage positions were hit the hardest. So guys, again, one of Rob Art's 2 rules: do not use leverage. One of my rules as well: do not use leverage, do not short the market. However, it's important to remember that crypto has seen crashes before and the market has historically shown resilience. While short-term volatility is the norm, long-term trends tend to favor wider adoption and potential growth. So what are we to expect next? In the near term, we may see continued volatility as uncertainty lingers. Some investors might get spooked and further sell-offs could occur. However, others may see these lower prices as a buying opportunity, especially for blue chip cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Here's what to keep an eye on, guys. Okay, so the regulatory responses. Will this crash invite stricter scrutiny from regulators? Any increase in regulatory pressure could further dampen sentiment, and regulators like excuses like this to intervene for protection purposes. So you remember the FTX collapse and how government jumped all over that incident, saying, oh, look, see, we need stricter rules for cryptocurrencies. Then there's institutional adoption. If major institutional investors continue to enter the market, it could provide a stabilizing force. ETFs are also a huge driving factor, so we have to keep an eye on that also. And then technological innovation, continued innovation, especially in areas of DeFi and NFTs, could generate fresh narratives and attract renewed enthusiasm. Do you see any new narratives here? I expect that eGen layer will have some strong impact. Navigating the storm. So this is, part of why I'm here, part of why I do the Patreon too, guys. Market crashes are stressful, but they are inherently part of investing in volatile assets like cryptocurrency. Here are a few takeaways for investors, okay? So if you're new to the space, do not panic sell. Don't act on your emotions. What my experience shows here is that there's always a bounce back. Even if it is a dead cat bounce, stop, think, and act. Reevaluate your portfolio. Crashes often offer a chance to rebalance your holdings and potentially add to solid projects at lower prices. Also watch those who dropped the least. This is a sign of a strong trend. And manage your risk. Practice and learn good risk management skills. Avoid excessive leverage. Again, do not use leverage. Again, I mean, it's up to you. It's not financial advice. You do what you want with your hard-earned cash, but you can get wrecked real bad if you use leverage. And have a long-term investment horizon. Keep portions for holdings in stable assets, both to take advantage of at such drops, but also to protect yourself. And then, guys, there's the road ahead. The crypto market will surely remain bumpy, especially in the coming weeks. Yet, despite the recent crash, the potential for transformative technology remains. And, at the end of the day, this is what institutions really want to dig their claws into, the technology that is going to be backed by crypto projects like Ripple, the XRP ledger, the real-world utility. This is the long-term horizon time frame. If we zoom out and look for the bigger picture, the trajectory of blockchain innovation and wider cryptocurrency adoption is still very promising. We went from buying a pizza with 10,000 Bitcoin to ETFs. So again, his disclaimer, this post is for informational purposes only. It is not considered financial advice, but Artur here, he's been in the space for quite a while. And a lot of this is very, very sound advice, I gotta say. We're down 16% from the highs, and so far this is a normal drop. So someone else here, Benjamin Cowan, also explaining that, these types of drops, we've seen them time and time again. I know they feel like very significant drops when you see your portfolio number go down, but at the end of the day, guys, again, this is typical. Remember, Bitcoin only did see a 16% drop. And, throughout bull cycles in the past, we've seen, well, when was the halving? So the last halving was over here. So somewhere in and around here, we've seen drops 19% in and around the halving in the past. Okay, that's just one of them. When Bitcoin pumped here, we did see it drop again 21% a few months after the halving. So again, very, very typical. And wow, up here, when we get closer to the top, they get very, very high, 31% before we reached a new all-time high for Bitcoin. This wasn't even the all-time high. We actually had a few more months before Bitcoin did double top in November of 2021 and finally did reach its new all-time high. So 20 to 22% is typical. This time, it could develop into something more, though. And again, he goes into more detail here, just giving you guys some more detailed information about what he's looking at with regards to this crypto cycle. I feel like I've already talked a lot about this. I had a lot of tabs up here because there's a lot of great information, making sure that the crypto market doesn't continue to panic. And with a blockchain backer here with my favorite tweet of the day, double tap, bull flag, breakout, violent back test, V-bottom, and you know what that means? V-bottom directly out of this. So huge back test here to this region for Bitcoin. We've seen it in the past on the Dow Jones, that exact same structure here before we V-bottomed right out of it. So guys, in terms of getting out of this bearish pattern, we could see a reversal very, very soon. So wanted to thank Blockchain Backer here, of course, Benjamin, Cowan, Arthur, Nick, Crypto Crusader, as well as Rect Capital, Credible Crypto, Raul Pal, everybody involved, Chad Steingraber, for all the great information today. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room, XRP, and, we're seeing the FUD just spilling out in and amidst this bearish crash. Now, again, guys, we got to remember the entire market is crashing. It's not just XRP, but it doesn't help when we see articles coming out like this. XRP in danger of falling to 3 cents as per a 2023 prediction. So Anders here posting this, starting to see these doomsday predictions for 6 cents and now 3 cents. And then, some news outlets are trying to kind of put a positive spin on this. This one courtesy of XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP volume has skyrocketed 156%. And basically, this is true. It did rocket 156% in the last 24 hours, but that is because of selling pressure. That is not because of buying pressure. So again, guys, just be careful where you're getting your information from. It's better to get a larger picture, just to kind of see the bigger news events and, understanding what is happening in crypto at the moment. Wanted to bring this up because this is some actual positive news with regards to, XRP partners. And so this is just, one example of, what I believe was Arthur, what he was saying before, right? The crypto market is still, ripe with opportunity. We do have the potential for transformative technology in the coming, I would say, months, because the crypto regulations aren't occurring just so that the bigwigs can trade cryptocurrencies. The technology, the use cases, this is what's really going to drive utility, and this is what's really going to drive prices down the road. For example, XRP. So while Northern Trust may be a minority shareholder in Zodia custody, it contributes its knowledge and reputation as one of the leading global custodians with more than $15 trillion in assets under custody. So check some of this out here. Standard Chartered's Zodia custody partners with Deutsche Bank DWS for crypto ETP custody, and this just came out a few days ago. In this article here, they state something very, very interesting right down here. While Northern Trust may be a minority shareholder in Zodia custody, it contributes its knowledge and reputation as one of the leading global custodians with more than $15 trillion in assets under custody. So these are big projects getting up off the ground. A lot of connections here to Ripple too. Deutsche Bank, a partner of Ripple. Standard Chartered, one of the original VCs that invested in Ripple in the early days. Also SBI's, Japan's SBI is connected to this. And they're talking $15 trillion in assets under custody. So we have to look at the bigger picture here. An XRP under 50 cents, a great opportunity to maybe cost average down if you guys purchase XRP at higher prices. Also remember, more than 80 central banks are currently working on tokenization projects. This one courtesy of Subjective Views. And think of who has the most partnerships with these central banks.
Innovation is an important topic, and it's going to be a topic of the next set of questions. And so we want to think a little bit more, dig a little bit deeper into the issues related to current development and impact of tokenization. So there are more than 80 central banks that now have projects on tokenization. It represents a tremendous amount of work. And as the question 2 earlier asked, is that hype or what are the promises? Let's dig a little bit into that. So Yoon, can you describe, from your perspective, the risks and the benefits of new tech technology for the future system, and in particular, for example, in projects that you were involved in?
Yeah, I think tokenization, I think, is a very, very important theme. I mean, I would have a slightly more general definition of tokenization, and you'll see why that might be sort of more helpful. So tokenization is the digital representation of claims, together with incorporating the rules and logic that governs the transfers. Now, that could happen on a DLT platform, or it could be something a little bit more centralized. I think that depends on the application. And of course, the big use case is to ensure the contingent performance of actions. So, when you have various economic arrangements, there are occasions where you want to trigger certain actions on specific conditions. So a very classical example is payment versus delivery. So you're selling me a security and I will pay you. In order that we don't have principal risk, it will be great if my payment goes through if and only if you actually transfer the asset. And we know from the Herstatt Bank case of what can go wrong when that doesn't happen. And so this is a very classical, in fact, a canonical use of tokenization.
Young-Sung Shin from the BIS here is talking about tokenization. And, the BIS, the Bank for Central Banks, they're stating that 80 central banks are currently working on tokenization projects. And Ripple is definitely partners with over 50 central banks around the world. So guys, there is tons of reason to be optimistic, especially when coins like XRP are trading at such an attractive price. XRP drops here, bringing this up some positive energy by Brad Garlinghouse. Well, just think of it. If Ripple's bullish, well, you should be too.
Call me the optimist, call me naive, call me all those things, but I've been more right than I've been wrong. I mean, Ripple's in a very good position, so I feel good about that bet. And we're going to continue to invest and hire more people and acquire more companies because I believe where the world is going.
The world is moving to tokenization, guys. I guess I should go over this original Raoul Pal tweet that I mentioned at the top of the video, the original tweet from January the 6th. Remember, no leverage, no FOMO. Invest in 3 to 5 assets as your main bag. Self-custody too. Okay, that's an important thing, guys. And I do have an affiliate link for the Ledger Nano device. If you guys are still looking for a custody solution, you can use my affiliate link if you want. You don't have to use it. Only trade a small degen bag, okay? HODL over the long time horizon, something that I've been doing over there at the Patreon. Zoom out and remove the noise. Expect 35% pullbacks frequently. BTFD if you can. But guys, ultimately, DFTU. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.